Good morning, everyone. Today we have joined here for a webinar on national education policy, and where we will be discussing about will it be a paradigm shift in the Indian education system. This webinar has been organized by School of Sciences, Noida International University, and I would like to welcome you all for this webinar. On the panel, we have Dr. SANTOSH KUMAR PARIDA, who is a senior lecturer teacher, OES2 in District Institute of Education and Training, or SCRT, Odisha. Now, National Education Policy was approved by the Union Cabinet in July 2020. This policy replaces the previous policy approved in 1986, which is more than 3 decades old. And I think on that account only, we are running pretty outdated in the education system. Now, the vision of the policy is to make education India-centric so that it can directly contribute to transforming our country into an equitable and vibrant knowledge society through high-quality education. Special provisions have been made for higher education to bring revolutionary and application-based changes. When implemented, the effects will definitely be severe. The most significant highlight of National Education Policy 2020 with respect to higher education system is to set up higher education, is to set up a Higher Education Commission of India, which will be a single overarching umbrella body for higher education, except for medical studies and legal education. This body will be having 4 verticals which will regulate which will be regulating different aspects of the higher education system. The first is a regulatory council for regulation of the education system. Second is a general council for standard setting. Third is a funding council or grant council for funding the education and research. And fourth is the National Accreditation Council for accreditation of various higher education systems. The policy also proposes a single entrance exam conducted by a national testing agency, which will be a boon for all the students who are looking up for the education system. Also, it makes a provision for Indian universities to set up offshore campuses as well as foreign universities to set up a campus in India, providing good opportunities or world-class opportunities to our students, for all the students in the nation. Further, the policy also looks upon the academic bank of credit, which will finally give more weightage to the Indian education system. With this brief account of the policy, how it looks into the higher education system in India, I would like first to acknowledge the presence of Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Jayananda. Professor Jayananda has done his higher studies from the Jawaharlal University and has been very active in research in biological engineering. Since Dr. Jayananda became the Vice Chancellor of Noida International University, he has been very active in providing a congenial environment for his faculty as well as students for not only learning, but also getting engrossed in their curricular and co-curricular activities for superior hands-on experience and technical skills that eventually become inherent part of their personality and metamorphose them into a connoisseur in their respective fields. To foster the research tendencies in the young minds and extend the innovative arena of faculty, NIU has established a Noida International Research and Innovative Cell under the guidance of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, which also aids its members in planning, funding, and executing applications of their valuable research. Dr. Jayananda is an ardent follower of Rabindranath Tagore philosophy, and he believes on the policy that the highest education is that which does not merely give us information, but also makes our life in harmony with all existence. With this, I would like to invite Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Jayananda, to say a few
words. Thank you, Dr. NAMRATA. Thank you. Namaskar, Dr. Santosh Kumar.
Namaskar, namaskar.
Today, I'm quite happy that School of Sciences has organized a very wonderful topic on new education policy. Indeed, it's quite important, as well as it is the responsibility of all the academicians to propagate the matter of the new education policy to the masses, not only to the scholars, the students, and it should be propagated to it should percolate it in the society, in fact. So before it gets implemented, each and everyone should be aware of what is the new education policy, where are the opportunities of them to get benefit out of this policy. So thank you, Dr. Santosh, for joining this session.
Okay,
And
thank you also.
if I go in brief about the new education policy, uh, new education policy is just little deviated or little modified policy what we were having the existing system of education. Why we have modified, why it was necessary to modify the education system, education modality, because we found that Indian skilled educated person are going to be unemployable. They are not getting the job even after getting the degrees and all. So it was urgent need to get the new education policy, modified education policy, so that they can improve. One can get the opportunity to be employed in the society. So major aim, major goal of this new education policy to improve the employability of the candidates or the students. And I'm quite happy about the multiple entry and multiple exit, because number of students, I have seen number of students in my life that they might they didn't pursue their career or pursue their education because of the financial burden. So here they get relieved that if after even 1 year, if I do not feel, if I am not in condition because of the corona, my parents, if they lost their job, I have to take the responsibility of family, then I can even leave my program, UG program, even after 1 year with the certificate program, with the certificate degree. So the certificate would be utilized in the future for work. And if we are exiting after 2 years, it will be diploma program. If we are completing 3 years, we will have the degree. And if we are pursuing further 1 more year, then we will get the research program, a research degree along with the degree. So here it is a crash point that if we see, being the academician, I do feel that people here in India, lot of number of people are working in the research area, but nothing is coming out worthy at the level of international caliber. So I found that why it is so, because somewhere we have been forced towards the research program, because we didn't get anything in the after UG, we gone to the PG program, then after MPhil program, then after PhD program. ये एक तरीके का तहकीम वाली स्थिति थी कि अब कुछ नहीं हुआ तो चलो कुछ और कर लेते हैं. So here, if anyone is pursuing for the 4th year program of the UG program, research program, he or she will be having the mindset up that I have to pursue my career in the research. So ultimately, the research output will be enhanced. Definitely, it will be enhanced, because all of them, those who the candidates, those who have gone through the 4 year program, definitely they have already thought about their future in the research. So this is good. Apart from this, there are number of things are there. If you go through the education policy, AMPhil has been removed. Very good step. In our days, we did after PG program 2 years of the AMPhil degree. Then after 5+1, the PhD program. So 6 years plus 2 years, 8 years in the research program. So it was quite time consuming. Now the young people are not having the time because the world is very fast. So if we are spending our 8 years of the life in particular degree, particular research program, then after we may not be in condition to enjoy our research output in future. So this is very good. Apart from this, all the stand-alone institutions will pursue the multidisciplinary approach. So that is very good thing. Multidisciplinary approach. We all are talking about the multidisciplinary approach since long back, but still we do feel that section officer is having their lenses. Okay, ये MSc किया है, तो इस program में किया है, ये इधर नहीं जा सकता, वो इधर नहीं जा सकता. So they are having their typical mind setup. Here in the multidisciplinary program, suppose an engineer feels to pursue his or her hobby in music also. So they may get the music course, music subject in their program. So it will be very good. Apart from that, even not only music, if the engineer feels that they should go for the medical science, IIT Madras is making the medical schools also. So tomorrow, if you see any medical device, you will not find any medical device made by the India, made in India, because it needs some kind of multidisciplinary approach. If someone is making any medical device, one should have the knowledge of engineering as well as the human anatomy and physiology, because the instrument is being implemented to the human subjects. So this is very good. If I'm interested to make any medical device, I'm pursuing my engineering degree in electronics or any mechanical department. So I may take the subjects of the medical sciences, which is very near to my hobby, to make the medical device. So this is very good. And as NAMRATA told that single regulator will be coming, that is very good. Still, I do feel that apart from the medical, because MCI is very much involved in the human life, so it can be separated out. But legal courses could be come in the same umbrella, because education system should have, because what is happening, we are having different regulatory norms. Being the administrator, I do feel that BCI is having different norm, NCT is having different norm. I have to make each and every department as per their requirement. So why not do the requirement should be the homogeneous, so should be the same for all, because all of them are imparting the education only. So if anyone is pursuing, is educating here, the system should be the same, classroom should be the same, teacher should be the same. Why the composition of the teacher 1:10 somewhere, 1:20 somewhere, 1:18 somewhere? Why it is like that? So the regulating instruction should be the same. And definitely, I do feel that this new education policy will be very much based on outcomes. Still, what we are doing, we are just graduating the student with the education and the degree. We do not see what would be the outcome of this. So now onwards, or after implementation of this policy, I'm sure that outcome will be improved. And I would request the luminary speaker to enlighten us about some kind of still number of things are there to be clarified when it will be implemented, when the act will be formed, that will be more stressed, more clarified. But still I do have the query that we have seen that DigiLocker will be created in this academic bank credit system would be there. Means one, if someone is pursuing education, he or she, whatever they get, diploma, degree, any credit, so that will be deposited in a kind of bank, a saving account bank. And when he or she will go for the employment, that will be verified by the DigiLocker. So employer can get the verification from the DigiLocker. Okay, that's good. But just few years back, we have implemented National Academic Depository, where we are depositing the students' academic credentials. So what will happen to the NAD, National Academic Depository? So will it merge or will it nullified? So I do feel that I should not take some time, and luminary speakers are there to enlighten us with their excellent talk. Thank you for calling me. Thank you, Namrata. Thank you, Lomas. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Santosh Saab.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir,
Thank you.
for your view on the national education policy, what you have taken from that, and also for asking the Dr. Parida your queries about the NEP, because he's been one person who's been involved in the policy making also at the state level.
Okay.
Now I would like to invite our plenary speaker, Dr. Santosh Kumar Parida. Dr. Parida, before inviting him, I would like to briefly tell about his work and his background. Dr. Parida has been an author, an expert, state and national level key person. He has been a state consultant in preparation of reflective dialogue and national education policy of 2020. Dr. Parida has been facilitated with the National Award for Innovative Practice on School Education and Teacher Education by NCERT. His experience in the education system and his understanding of the education is reflected by the various awards that he has earned from his various more than 100 peer-reviewed articles that he has sent in national and published in national and international journals. He has been a key resource person in module writing up and for imparting training in the block level, district level, and state level. He has also been a reviewer in e-contents for Diksha and Vidya NAP of the Odisha government. He has been also a key resource person in writing materials organized for UNICEF, ESARC, Ramal Foundation, international organizations of Site Saver in ITSRA. And with this, and not taking much longer time, I would like to invite Dr. Parida to share his views on the national education policy and also kind of clarify a lot of queries which all of us might be having about the whole policy. Welcome, Dr. Parida, to this webinar. Thank you for joining us as well.
Okay. Warmly welcome to, that is also this webinar, also Noida International University School of Science, to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Jayananda, and also that is also the Director of Schools of Science, Dr. LOMAS, and also Department of Biotechnology, Dr. NAMRATA, and also the key resource persons and all my intellectuals from different corners of India. This is also the very good initiative for also they make it aware about the that is also the national education policy on 2020. So it is very remarkable steps organized by Noida International University, and also I can also welcome to this program, that is also your that is print media, electronic media, and all the faculty members of the university. This is very nice program. Actually, I can accept from my core of the heart, I can say that this organization, this university has organized this program. So that's why it is a very good program for because at the MHRD, which was earlier was also the former was also known as the MHRD, but now it is also the Minister of Education as per the guideline of our NEP 2020. So that on this occasion, I can also say that this is also it is organizing in different, and also the Minister of Education also initiated that also how it can make as a spread in different corners of India, that how the people will be aware about the new education policy. So that's why after that it will be also the as far as also practicable it will be implemented in the field. Okay. Am I audible? Dr. Namrata, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. So now on this perspective, I can also start my presentation. On new education policy. Okay, my PPT is visible, Dr. Namrata. Dr. Namrata.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. This is my presentation also, that is a National Education Policy 2020. This Science of Education, Department of Science of Education, Noida International University has also reflected the very burning, very living and practicable webinar topic or theme. That is also it will be a paradigm shift in Indian education system. Definitely, it is a challengeable thing. I can say that now the society, my dear participants, the society is not static. Day by day, we are also gradually we are also progressing from also that is also in the developing progress. Now India is also in the process of digitalization, digital India, knowledge India. So that in this segment, I can say at the topic, should definitely, I can say there is a paradigm shift in Indian education system will occur in this implementation of National Education Policy 2020. This National Education Policy 2020 has come into the fold of education after 34 years. Okay. So that's why, because that society, that is that stage of society, and now this stage of society, you can find there is a remarkable difference. Now the society is also facing challenges day by day. On this aspect, if we'll keep in contact, if we'll analyze these things, definitely we can find that the society needs in the hallmark of educational scenario, there is a changes. There is a renaissance is also required. So what type of renaissance is also required? Definitely it can also bring the changes in the society. So in that segment, I can say that definitely it can bring a paradigm shift in Indian education system. But how it can bring the paradigm shift in Indian education system, we'll discuss in vividly, starting from the structure of new NEP 2020 till to the higher education and concern to all. I will discuss all in detail. So after that, you can ask any queries, and also Vice Chancellor, Professor Jayananda also asked any two questions to me. I can also explain my answer regarding these questions. For these queries, I can also discuss in detail. You can find this is also the hallmark, the historical perspective I can discuss about the NEP 2020. You can find that in the 2020 NEP is also now in the field of, it is also at the stage of implementation. So I can ask the participants, so what is the first NEP in India after independence? what is the NEP, first NEP in India. Most of the peoples are also, their responses are also there. A national policy on education 1986 and program of action 1992 is also the past national education policy. But I can say, but this is not, because why it is also occurring? Why? Because why the people are also saying that it is also the first national education policy in India? Because there is no awareness about the other national education policy which are also implemented in India. Actually, the first national education policy in India, that is 1968, all of you are clear, which is also encompasses the 8 pages of a document, and also that is also the after implementation of Kothari Commission, you can find 64, 66, you can find after implementation of the Kothari Commission report, very valid document of Kothari Commission report. So after 2 years, just also came into force the national policy, the first national policy in education, that is 1968, which is also encompasses 8 pages. But its implementation is actually really is not also remarkable. But the remains are the changes in the society. So then after that in 1986, National Policy on Education 1986 and Program of Action 1992, which also the document encompasses 29 pages. And also after 2 decades of implementation of the first policy, NPE, first NPE, then second NPE also came into force, that is also 1986 education policy. But it also brings some changes, taking into account, taking into consideration of the time and the situation of the society and environment, and also the scenario of the educational field. But now we are also in the push. We are also in the step of also in the that is challengeable society. That is also in the 2020 National Education Policy 2020, which encompasses also the 65 pages. It is also after 34 years, it also came into force. But now India, each and every citizens of India, every people of India are also expecting how this policy can bring a change in the society, in the educational society. How can it mitigate the needs of the society? How can it also fulfill the desires of the young youths of the society? So definitely we can say, if it will be implemented in full place, definitely it can bring a hallmark changes in the society. So what are these? We can discuss in detail. The first thing also you can find. So what are the actually what the policy also expects from this? You can find the first thing also, it brings the equitable and vibrant knowledge society. The vibrant and equitable, vibrant and knowledge society in the society. So that's why it's the first vision. The second vision you can find of this document, of this policy, that is also your the fundamental rights, the constitutional values, like your fundamental rights, fundamental duties, constitutional values. All these things are also can be reflected in the heart of the citizens of India. So that's why the second vision of this NEP 2020. And third vision you can find that also India wants to bring the human rights and also the sustainable development. That is particularly it focuses on the goal 4, SDD, that is Sustainable Goal Development 4. Also, actually, it has emphasizes upon it. This policy emphasizes upon it. What is that? The high quality education, the quality education. How the quality education can bring? Really, the quality education are also vibrating in other. That is also you can find NCF 2005 National Curriculum Framework, National Curriculum Framework 2005, and the National Curriculum Framework and School Education in 2000. These are also vibrated the quality education. But in this policy, that also how the quality education. Okay. Then next thing also you can find the structure of our NEP 2020. You can find there are also 4 parts of this document. That is also higher education, which encompasses 8 chapters, and also 143 statements are also policy statements are also there. In part 2, you can find higher education, which encompasses 11 chapters and 99 policy statements are also there. And in part 3, you can find other key areas of the focus, which encompasses 5 chapters and 54 policy statements. And also the last part, that is also part 4, that is making it happen. That is also the 3 chapters are also there, and 12 policy statements are also there. Actually, these policy statements you can find in 308 statements are also there, but each and every line of this document is very important. Each and every line you can find, but how it is also important we'll discuss. If we'll go to this, what are the expectation of this policy? Actually, the policy expects about that is also universal of access, that is ECC to center. If I can discuss about the school education, there is also there is a paradigm shift in school education also. Though you are also dealing with the university educations or the college education, we are also dealing with the college educations, but now we have to also our grassroots level should be also strengthened. So that's why this policy has also brought into the force, that is also the ECC, early childhood care and education, which also the separated institutions, the school going readiness was also there, that was also separated from the formal schools. But now this policy has also integrated that the school education means that is also from the ECC to the secondary level or higher secondary level. So this is also the outcome of this policy. And second policy outcome is also you can find equity and inclusion. Equity and inclusion also, there is also you can find there is a segregation in education system. But how that can also the inclusive education, inclusion can also be done, and equity should be there, not equality. Equity should be given in all aspects. So that is also the second outcomes of this policy. And next thing is also you can find, though the government of India and also the government of any state government are also declaring that very poor out of school children are also there, but till now the research findings are also there, and this policy exact figure has also highlighted here that out of now the 2 crores of out of school children are also out of the school, that is also they are not mainstreamed in the school education. So that's why how these 2 crores of the children will also out of school children and never enrolled children will come to the fold of education. That is another expectations of this policy. Then next thing is also you can find the goals. SDG also Sustainable Development Goal 4, how it can also fulfilled, that is also another expectations. Then next thing you can find, that is also the very important, there is also changes in education. You can find foundational literacy and numeracy. My dear participants, you can find, if you can find to the NCRT, and also NCRT is also conducting the NAS, National Achievement Survey in school education. You can find the result of the research study, the findings of the NAS, National Achievement Survey. Now in India, actually in India, every states, the level of standard of the learners are not also at par. So that's why because they are also the foundational and numeracy skills are also very poor in the young learners. So that's why how the people can also come to the fold of education. So how their basic grade level competency, the learning outcome can be fulfilled. That is also another paradigm shift in education in this policy. So you can find now India is also fear. India is not also has any confident that the students of Indian students can participate in international competition, that is PISA. PISA you can find for the first time in PISA only the first time India has participated. From that also, no other chances are also there in India, because India has not up to the level of international level of the learners are also there. So how the learners can also develop their skills and also the practical knowledge, but theoretical knowledge you can find at everywhere of our learners, because rote memorization, they are emphasizing, the school educations are also emphasizing the rote memorization. So that's why the students are not up to the level of our national and international levels. What the state, what the country, what also the international actually expect. And next thing is also, you can find that is also 25 skills, the development of the skills in teachers. Teaching in the teaching learning process also, you can find there will be also the changes. So that how the teacher in the classroom teaching process-based assessment can also be conducted, and also the teaching learning process should be as per the Right to Education Act, RT Act 2009. And you can find now these teachers are also in the process of lecturing. There is no participatory approach. There is also no discovery, exploration of this strategy were not implemented by the teacher in the teaching learning process. So that's why actually they're lacking. There is a lack in between the acquiring and understanding and application level of our learners. So that's why this policy expects how the teaching capacity and or also the level of also these types of assessment of the students and learning process should be changes. And next thing you can find the school complex. It is also another you can say this is another hallmark changes in the paradigm shift of in our school education. That is also school complex. I will discuss what is the school complex in detail. So next thing you can find also the languages. So definitely the language barrier also there in Indian students. So that's why you can find they also very tribal in the remote areas of India. You can find the students are not also understanding the state language or also they are a national language at the level, because they are also, they have own language, their home language, they are also their native language. But there is no breeze between also the native language to also the state language, from state language to also the you can find to the national level language or the foreign language. But now this policy has promotes the foreign language. How the foreign language can also be language emphasizes, art and culture can be promoted. All these things also emphasizes upon this policy. And also you can find what are the key principles of this policy. You can find the key principles. That is also the first thing is also the unique capacity building of each students. And next thing is also the development of the numeracy and literacy. And third thing, you can find the flexibility in curriculum. There is no rigid curriculum. Whatever the YESPAL committee has also emphasizes, all of you have heard that YESPAL committee, learning without burden. But now it was not also in the force. But now you can find the national education policy has also emphasizes the flexibility in curriculum. The choice-based curriculum should be introduced. Multiple entry and multiple exit system is also there. And next thing you can find that is also no hard separation between the curricular and other curricular arena. So you can find after implementation of CC, continuous comprehensive evaluation, you can find the continuous comprehensive evaluation was also importance upon that all the, that is three aspects, the curricular, other curricular areas and socio-personal qualities. But now it also, there is no also in the field of implementation. So that's why the NCRT was also tried at his level best how to implement it also there. But CBSE as also CBSE and ICC are also, they are also these boards are also they are not in favor of that implementation. But this is very important things, how the curricular, other curricular and socio-personal qualities can also be implemented for the all-round development, the holistic development, because this policy has importance on that is also 360-degree angle of holistic development of the learner. 360-degree angle and progress card should be developed. So that's why there is no separation between the curricular and other curricular. There is no separation between the science, arts, commerce. Every child can also be also They are also as per their own choice, they can also take the course. That's why the multidisciplinary system has also been introduced. Choice-based credit system also introduced in this policy. And next thing you can find the multiple disciplinary and also the holistic education in the field of education, and then emphasization upon the conceptual understanding. The next thing is a conceptual understanding rather than the rote memorization. The Kothari Commission, and also the University Education Commission, that is Radhakrishnan Commission 1948-49. It also emphasizes upon that also the conceptual understanding, but till now it was not also in the field. You can find most of the teachers, most of the lecturers are also teaching in the style of their lecturing method. But how the conceptual change can be brought in the minds of the young learners, that is also the main focus of this policy. And another thing you can find the creativity and critical thinking. There is you can find, even if also in our colleges you can find, the project works are also assigned to the students are also copying down. They are also from the previous year students, they are also copying it down. But there is no critical thinking. There is no project work in their assignments, and also they are also not also reflected are also there. Because there is also, I can say that there is also the problem within the faculty members, because the faculty members must have to promote, they must have to also generate how to also the creativity and critical thinking, and also the logical positivism and logical decision making can also be promoted in the individual concern of our learners. So that is important for our learners. That's why this policy has highlighted all these things. And next thing you can find the ethical values and the human values you can find in the society. In that also the learners are also qualifying their knowledge. They are also acquiring the degrees, but there is no ethical values. They are not respecting to the highly respected to the respected peoples, and also loving. They are also forgetting about the lovings of the young generations. So that's why it can also promote about that also the scientific temperament, and also the public property and liberty, responsibility. All these things how can foster in the minds of the young learners, that this policy also highlighted. The next thing you can find also the key principles areas promoting the multilingualism. In the school education, multilingualism has been promoted. I can say that in Odisha, I have also done as the state key resource person. I have also at the initial stage, I have promoted. In Odisha, I can give an example. In Odisha, 62 tribes are also there in remote areas. That is also your Kalahandi, Koraput, and also Kandhamal, Mayurbhanj, like this remote areas. The students are also there. If the state books can also be prescribed, state books, they are unable to read the script of the state language. So that's why there is a language gap. There is a language barrier for the learners. So that's why I have initiated at the state level. I have also given the planning framework to the state government, that we can also be in the Sarva Shiksha Abhijan and also in the Samagra Shiksha Abhijan. I am also the key resource person. So that's why I have given the my thoughts, my feelings, that we can also promote for the multilingualism. Though there is an aspect in SSA, Sarva Shiksha Abhijan and Samagra Shiksha Abhijan, we can promote that things. So that's why the Odisha government has also emphasizes upon in 22 tribes, dialects also prepared the textbooks, that is multilingual education. So that's why it has also the same policy in the NEP 2020 also highlights about, and also given the importance on the multilingualism. So that's why every state can also, now it is binding every state to promote these things. And next thing you can find, that is also the life skill. The 9 life skills, all of you know that 9 life skills are also there. Apart from that, you can also add more. But standard level at also 9 life skills are also there. That is also, you can find empathy, sympathy, cooperation, communication, teamwork. So all these are also how the life skills can be reflected in the bloods of in the minds of our learners, so that they can also be self-reliant in the society. Because our society expects how the learners can be self-reliant. But after completion of their education, you can find there is unemployment in the society. But after completion of education, how they can also be engaged themselves in the in our society. So that's why this policy is also, there is a paradigm shift, I can say. Then focus on the regular formative and summative assessment. Yes, the formative, that is also the CC. CC, it promotes the CC, continuous comprehensive evaluation. In continuous comprehensive evaluation, the formative and summative assessment, basing upon the learning outcomes, what the NCERT has the standard. It has also published a document. I am also the key resource person of the designing of also the learning outcome at the RI Bhubaneswar, in the Regional Institute of Education Bhubaneswar. I was also the key resource person to design that, also to translate also in that. But in also the national level, NCERT has prescribed what is the minimum standard of learning outcome, the grade level learning outcome are also there. It has fixed, so that each and every state can also focus, the teachers can also focus how to promote the learning outcome, how to generate the learning outcome in the classroom teaching learning process. So this policy also highlighted these things. And another thing is also extensive of ICT, implementation of ICT, because nowadays you can find the newborn baby, a newborn baby after also from the mother's womb after 1 or 2 months. Now she is also handling the Android set mobiles. If you can also teach to the learners in the chalk and talk method, it is not good for them. It is not also the attractive for them. It is not also joyful for them. So, but here it emphasizes upon that is also the DIKSA, and also the DIKSA platform has created the MHRD has also created the DIKSA platform, DIKSA app also there. You can find it also. And also repository you can find in NCERT portal. If you will go to there, you can find there is also the online subjects are also there, the contents are also there, e-contents are also uploaded. The teachers can utilize these resources in the classroom process, and also the teachers can also, they can also promote, they can also use these things in their classroom process. So that's why the digital content, that is also ICT. ICT should be integrated in the teaching learning process, that also it emphasizes upon, because the earlier program and also earlier national policy on education, they are not also emphasizes upon. That's why I can say that there is a paradigm shift. It can mitigate the demands and plus and demands of also the present society. Dr. Namrata, am I audible? Dr. Namrata?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. So next we can find that also the diversity and respect also the local context. So NCERT was also focuses upon that also. That is also your the standard level curriculum should be designed in this in this policy. The national, in the school education and also in the college education, you can find there is a standard curriculum should be maintained, but not also the state level. The curriculum should be at the standard level, but in the curriculum, while the textbook will be prepared, in the textbook, the local context and the local examples and pedagogical processes should be implemented in the textbook. That should be prioritized. So that's why this policy has given the flexibility to the state government. And next thing also you can find the conceptual and understanding and eradication of the rote memorization. Next thing is also the full equity and inclusion of the education. And next thing is also the curriculum level of education for ECC, early childhood care and education. I will discuss ECC, how it can also be implemented in towards also and also promote to the higher education. All these things I will discuss in detail. And next thing also you can find that is also teacher and faculty. Also they can also the learning process, their recruitment process, their continuous CPD, that is continuous professional development, how can also be developed to mitigate the challenge of the present teaching learning process. All these things are also the key principles of National Education Policy 2020. Next thing I can say here, that is also transforming the curricular and pedagogical structure. Now you see that this picture, there is a paradigm shift here. You can find in the earlier education, but now till now, what the system is also going on, in that system you can find there is also 10 plus 2 plus 3 pattern are also there. 10 plus 2 plus 3 pattern are also there. But now there is a changes in this education system, in the school education system. You can find that is also 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. How it is also occurring? There is a shift, there is a changes in the structure of our education, school education. But is that also you can find the first 5 is also it contains 3 plus 2. What is 3? The first 3 years also you can find that is Anganwadi will attach. They are also saying this policy says that Anganwadi should attach to the primary education, and also it is a formal education. At the age of, you can find the right to education has highlighted it is also meant for the 6 to 14 years, but this policy says that no, it is also 3 to 18 years. So they are also under the purview of their Right to Education Act, that is 3 to 18 years children can come to the fold of Right to Education Act. So here, that's why you can find that is also the first thing, also your foundation stage. The first 5 is also the foundation stage. The Anganwadi, at the age of 3, the learners can come to the ECC centers. That ECC will control the primary education. So that's why the ECC at the age of 3 to 6 years, they will learn in Anganwadi centers. And what will be their curriculum, I will also discuss. Then also the next 2 years, grade 1 and grade 2. Grade 1, then also it will promote after completion of Anganwadi or the Bal Bhatika, they can also promote toward also the grade 1 and grade 2. The 2 years will be there. And Anganwadi, or that is Anganwadi or Bal Bhatika. So these 3 years, that is 3 to 6 years, 3 years are also there. And also the standard 1 and standard 2 or grade 1 or grade 2 or class 1 or class 2, the 2 years, then 3 plus 2, that is also 5 years. This stage, these 5 years of schooling is known as the foundational stage. It is also known as. There is also the changes in their language also, the structure also being changed, that is also foundational stage. And next thing you can find, that is also the preparatory stage after, that is class 3 or standard 3 to standard 5. This is also which is known as also the earlier, that is primary school, but the primary stage, but now it is also known as the preparatory stage. The preparatory stage from class 3 to class 5 at the age of 18 to 11 years, the learners can also learn at the preparatory stage. Then also you can find at the middle stage is also from class or standard 6 to standard 8. That is also middle stage. Now that the age of the learners should be 11 to 14 years. And the next thing is also the 4 years, 9th and 10th class, 9th and 10th grade should be the 2 years, and 11th and 12th and another 2 years. These are also the 4 years of secondary education. The 9th and 10th will be treated as the secondary, and 11th and 12th will be treated as also the higher secondary. So that's why this is also the basic structure changes. There is a paradigm shift in the curricular and pedagogical structure. There is a transforming changes in the curricular and pedagogical structure of our Indian system of school education, right? Then what are the school education? You can find this policy highlights about the 8 parts, 8 chapters are also there. You can find the number 1 is also early childhood care and education, and also the foundation of learning. So ECC is also very important. This part also there. It should be integrated to also the primary education. And there is also you can find the curriculum should be designed by the NCERT, and the teacher will be appointed accordingly. There are also those who have also completed the nursery teachers training. So all these things it is also highlighted. And second thing, you can find foundational literacy and numeracy. Third thing is also curtailing the dropout, and also you can find ensuring the universal access of education. So all these things, 3 things are also there. And fourth thing you can find, that is curriculum and pedagogy in school. I will discuss in detail. And next thing you can find, that is teachers, in teachers recruitment, teachers professional development, all these things, there is also changes in this policy. Next thing you can find, equitable and inclusive education. And next thing you can find, that is also your efficient resourcing and effective governance through the school complex. And the last thing of school education, that is also your known as the standard setting and accreditation of the school education. I will discuss in detail all these things. The first thing is also ECC. So ECC framework, you can find already, I have told you that ECC will be integrated in the formal school, and also you can find the ECC curriculum will be designed by the NCRT. That curriculum is known as the NCP FECE. That means that is National Curricular and Pedagogical Framework for ECC, for Early Childhood Care and Education. So this will be designed by the NCRT. And next thing also you can find that is multi-phased framework. In multi-phased framework, you can find that is also the learning of the alphabets, language, numbers, counting, colors, shape, which are also the prerequisite knowledge. But you can find in the now at this scenario of in your Anganwadi centers, directly they are also coming towards counting the tables, counting the numbers, and also the alphabets writing. Directly they are also coming. But how their learning can be promoted through the art integrated learning, and also the craft, puppetry, music, dance, art, all these things should be integrated in their learning. This policy has also emphasizes upon it. That is also known as the multi-phased framework. And next thing you can find the school preparation module. A 3 months preparation module will be developed by the NCRT, that the existing Anganwadi workers will be, their knowledge, their capacity will be enhanced by the 3-month play-based activities will be designed, and also that can how the teaching learning process in the ECC will be promoted. That was also be highlighted in this policy. You can find, and then the teachers, the newly recruited teachers can also be appointed. They will be appointed those who have also qualified the nursery training, because they are coming under the Right to Education Act purview. So that's why they must be a trained teacher. The general human being cannot be appointed as also the ECC teacher. So that's why they must be normally be trained. And next thing you can find that is research and best practices. And NCFC, whatever I have also told you, National Curricular and Pedagogical Framework for ECC, in that that will be reflected the research base and best practices in different states of India. The best practices can also be given as the living example for the ECC. So that's why this will be designed by the NCRT. Next, you can find the early childhood care and education. What are the pedagogical process, learning process, and formative of the years? You can find it also focuses on developing the curiosity of the learners. Actually, the teacher must have to understand, as a facilitator, as a classroom facilitator, the teacher must have to understand how the curiosity, what is the curiosity of the learners, on the basing upon the curiosity of the learners. But now you can find in the classroom scenario, the teachers are also neglecting the interest, aspirations of the learners. They are also in their own angle, the teachers are also teaching. But this policy has focuses on developing the curiosity of the learners and logical thinking and problem solving attitude of the learners. Then also the art, craft, and music, already I have told you, all these things can also be highlighted among the learners, and relationship with the nature. Now you can find the nature, there is no bonding between the learner's mind with the nature. So how the natural setting can be created in the minds of the learners, from the nature they can also learn. But now we are also confining to the learners only the 4 walls of the classroom setting. But learning actually is not also there within the 4 walls of the learning. Learning is also beyond the classroom. But we, as a teacher, the teacher must have to promote, I can say, not only the Anganwadi teachers, not only the school teachers, I can say that also to all the college lecturers, I can say that the teachers of higher education, I can say that they must have to also promote how to go beyond the textbook, how go beyond the classroom process. Otherwise the student can also develop their life skills. So that's why it should be emphasized upon it. This policy has also focused upon it. And then this teaching of learning should be depends upon the colors, shapes, alphabets, numbers, all these things should be there. Teamwork and collaborative learning approach, very important thing. The collaborative learning approach should be followed. How the learner can also learn, you can find there is a diversity in the classroom learning process. High achievers, low achievers are also there. but how the knowledge can be transferred, the transfer of learning can also be promoted in the classroom process. That's why the collaborative learning approach and the group work or teamwork of team teaching can be emphasized upon it. So that's why it is also given importance. And then next thing, you can find the play-based and discovery-based learning should be promoted among the learners. But now the teachers are not also neglecting that things. Only they are also what is also prescribed in the textbook, they are also given. But as a writer, I can say that while we are also writing, I have also written the textbook in Odisha, and also the teacher education program and the B.Ed and M.Ed students, I have also written the book. I have also given after given some information, I have given you think and say, you what do you also what do you learn from this, also you discuss among your group and also write this. Such type of the information I have given. But now in the same light, the teacher, in the same light also the textbook will be also bring back. So accordingly, this policy has emphasizes, and it emphasizes upon the ethical values and self-identity. The student can also identify themselves. The students, you can are the backbenchers of the classroom. They are also not in the fold of education. They are not also to the discussion, the participation of the teachers' discussion. They are neglected in the class. Every student should be identified, because each and every individual is the integral part of our teaching learning process. Because Right to Education Act is beating at every step that every student must have to develop the grade appropriate learning outcomes. So that's why this policy also emphasizes upon it. And next thing you can find that is behavioral and emotional changes. Behavioral changes should be there. At the initial stage, you can find the clay. At the clay, in the raw clay, if you can design in which order, at the hard level, it will be also in the same shape. So accordingly, you must have to also design. You have to change the behavioral aspect of the learners from the learning at the foundational level of learning. Next thing, foundational. Second thing of school education, you can find foundational literacy and numeracy. You can find that is also the foundational skills, universal acquisition of foundational learning. So you can find in foundational learning why the literacy and the numeracy is given. Yeah, LEP program is also there. LEP, the NCERT is also promoting the LEP, Learning Enhancement Program. In Odisha, I have also designed as a writer, as also the resource person in Odisha, I have also designed, and also the national level, I have also in the NCERT, I have also designed that LEP program. In Odisha, the Ujjwal and Uthan program was also there, the grade appropriate learning, how they can also acquire. After the 2017, you can find the NAS result is also giving very poor result in Odisha. That's why the students are not at the level of also the standard level or the grade level. So that's why that numeracy and literacy can also be promoted. How the literacy and numeracy can be developed among the learners, so that at the foundation and also the preparatory stage, they can also develop, so that they can equip in the teaching learning process, while the teacher can also the grade appropriate competency can be teach in the classroom process. So that's why this is also lay emphasis upon it. And next thing is also the national mission of foundational literacy should be there. In the mission should be created. A mission will be created, will be designed by the Minister of Education. That mission of education can highlight the foundational literacy and numeracy. And next thing you can find, that is book promotion, the e-book. E-book will be developed, but how it is also practicable in the society, that is also challengeable to the government. So that's why, but this the policy has also very beautiful presentation in the literacy and numeracy is also there. The e-book will be designed, the community, it can promote the community library. The community library, the student can also get that library, which will also available in their doorstep. So that's why the books, the digital books, and also the hard book will available. And also available in also the community level and early learning. The focus on also the 3 R's, that is reading, writing, and arithmetic. That is also the mathematics. So this is also the Kothari Commission has also reflected earlier these things, the 3 R's, that is reading, writing, and mathematics. The same policy has also reflected on this upon also. And next thing you can find in foundational literacy, 3 months play-based learning based school approach can also be developed for the to make it readiness the students at the level of grade 1 and grade 2. Next thing you can find national repository, jo Diksha, it can also give, that is e-content can be developed. Each state can also develop. Now each state are also developing. Yes. So that's why the high quality teaching learning materials should be available in the NCERT portal. Okay. And also the library already I have told you. Then dropout and ensuring the universal access of education. It is also very important things. You can find here, that is already this policy has marked the exact figure, that is 2 crores of children are also still now at the out of school children, never enrolled and dropout level. So how they can also come to the fold of education. So that's why it is also the major purpose. And there is also the bridge course can also be provided to them from the literacy and numeracy. Literacy and numeracy can be provided to them. So that's why they can also the literacy and numeracy through the bridge course material, they can be provided to the learner so that they can be equipped to the grade level competency. And the alternative centers, already the services Abhijan has given emphasizes upon that alternative innovative education. The same policy has also reflected on the same the thoughts. And also the next thing is peer tutoring. It is also also you can find this is also very important and crucial aspect, peer tutoring. You can find in the classroom scenario, those who are also, somebody is also making the sound, please, this is my request. Okay.
So I muted the person.
Okay. So peer tutoring facilities. In peer tutoring facilities, you can find that is also peer tutoring. In the peer tutoring, those who are also the high achiever in the learners, they can also through the collaborative learning approach, they can also these students can also facilitate the learning towards also the low achiever in the learners. As a classroom teacher, I can say, as a lecturer, I can say, as an academician, I can say here that there should not be segregated in the teaching learning process. The students should not be segregated in the teacher. In the collaborative approach, the students should be learned. So that's why the ideas, the emotions, the feelings, the thoughts, the knowledge, the understanding can be transmitted from one learner to the another. So that can also be promoted. And even if also this policy has emphasizes upon that also the educationists, those who are also available in the community, they can also be facilitated in the teaching learning process in the school. The head of the institution, the head of the school can also invite them for promoting or from facilitating the learning in the classroom process. And next thing also the learning outcome. It is very important thing. Learning outcome, learning outcome, learning outcome, again and again I am also telling that. Till now you can find in most of the states, you can find after Gujarat and also Gujarat and Rajasthan, you can find in 2 to 3 states, they are also emphasizing upon that also the learning outcome. But neither of also the states you can find they are not also promoting, but they are also in the process of also usage of also that learning outcome in the classroom process. But my concern is that this policy has also focuses in the, while I am also designing this policy in the state level, my dialogues were also there how the learning outcome can be focused on the classroom process. The teacher can facilitate his learning in the basis of learning outcomes, so that the teacher can, the student can also develop his ability, his skill of knowledge, so that he can promote, he can also accurate, he can accelerate towards also the next grade learning outcomes. So that's why it will be, there would be a grade appropriate learning, grade appropriate vision should be there, and these learning outcomes should be developed in a hierarchical order of the learners. Then also the build schools. And another thing, promoting the both the government and the non-government philanthropic school organizations should be developed. All these, the standard curriculum should be there. Suppose the CBSE can promote one curriculum and the state public schools can promote another curriculum. That should not be. All should be the same curriculum should be introduced. This policy has also brought. So that's why you cannot also generate, or you can also inspire your learners. Those if you have also the finance, if you have also the money, you can also promote your learners to read at also the highly paid schools. And also those people are also very poverty, they are also very poor, they can also teach in the public school. No, that should not be there. So each and every schools, their curriculum should be same, but emphasizes upon the local context, local examples, local instructions should be incorporated in the curriculum or in the textbook. Then curriculum and pedagogy in school. Next thing is also you can find the first thing is also restructuring of the school curriculum and pedagogy. I have also told in very vividly, I have discussed about 5+3+3+4 pattern of education and holistic development of the learners. Our ultimate motto is that how to develop the holistic development. But in the Indian system, you can find most of the teachers are also promoting to themselves that also they are only promoting the knowledge-based education. How their mark is important for the learners. We are emphasizing upon it. Their mark is important, but their skill is not important. The parents are also very interested how my child can also get A+ or also the 100 out of 100. They are also emphasizing upon. But my concern is that, so dear parents, dear teachers, you should not open the quantity of the learners only. You have to emphasize upon the quality of the learners. That is also the holistic development, the all-round development of the learners. That means you have to emphasize upon also the curricular, other curricular and socio-personal qualities. There should not be any segregation between the curricular and other curricular areas. There should not be segregation any curricular and also the art, sports, games, health education, physical education, and also the scientific temperament. You are also neglecting, the teachers are also neglecting in the classroom process. My dear student teachers, my dear students, my dear participants, I can promote those who are also as the belongs to the teacher community. They must have to promote also the holistic development, how the student can all-round development, so that India expect a self-reliance student, a self-reliance human being in the society, so that the India can also economically, socially, and economically and educationally can grow in all the aspects. So that's why we must have to promote the holistic development of the learners. And curriculum reduction. Curriculum reduction is also very important. You can find those who are also at the age of mind. At the age of mind, you can find we have also, there is a watertight compartment in the curriculum. That means the fixed curriculum, the rigid curriculum you have to learn. Either though whether you have interest, you may not have interest, you have to also learn. That is also the same curriculum. The high achiever is learning what type of curriculum. If I have the music, if I have the interest in art, there is no scope in school education. But now this policy has brought into the fold of education that there is a reduction in curriculum. In the reduction means after class 6, the vocational education can also be promoted. The learners can also take as per their own interest. Even if the foreign language has been introduced, that is the Chinese, Japanese, or other also the Russian, such type of the language also can, the student can also learn. Accordingly, the teacher can also be appointed so that this can also be promoted to the foreign language. That's why India can equipped with other countries, and India can also be well versed with also the at the hand to hand also in the other countries. So that's why it is another thing. And also there is a curriculum reduction. There is no rigid curriculum. You can find very soon, very earlier, NCERT has also issued a letter that what is the weight of the bags of the school learners. Standard 1, how much kgs of material they can also carry, and how much in standard 2, standard 3, like this, all these are also there. So that's why? Because our textbook in school curriculum, you can find very huge. So it also gives the curriculum load to the learner, which is also brings the stress and to among the minds of the learner. So that's why this policy has also there. The curriculum reduction should be there and emphasizes upon the experiential learning. Experiential learning, experience-based learning should be there. What the child, most of the teachers are thinking that the child doesn't know anything while he is coming to the fold of education, while they are coming to the schools, while they are coming to the education system, actually they don't know. But I can say that they have a lot of experience. The teacher must have to also utilize the experiences of what he has also acquired from his neighborhood, from his home environment, from his playing mates, from his also the in his locality, in his community, whatever the language they have, whatever the resources they are also acquiring by the way of his experience, that experience can be utilized in the classroom process, which can facilitate to them to learn the new knowledge. So that's why I can say that here there should be that is also the you can find also the previous knowledge can also be joined to also the new knowledge. So that's why the experiences learning should be, it will be easier for learning. The child can also learn in the easy way. So that's why it should be promoted. Next thing you can find that is emphasizes students through flexibility in the course choice. In the student can also choose their own course. That is also the flexibility in school education also being introduced. So in the school education, from the first, the three language formula can also be used, L1, L2, L3. That is also you can find in the native language, that can also be bridged to the state language to the international language or the foreign language can be promoted in India. And multilingualism can be promoted and the power of language can be developed among the learners. Next, curricular integration. So curricular integration, you can find there is a science, there is a mathematics, there is a phobia in students that so mathematical phobia, fear phobia, you can find in the student those who are also not acquiring the mathematics. So there is also, you can find in the 1986 education policy, there is a core curriculum. So and M.K. Gandhi, Mahatma Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, in his vocational education, there is a core curriculum introduced. And also the Kothari Commission has also emphasized upon it. The same thing also reflected in this curriculum, that is also the integration of the curriculum, that is there is no separation between the physics, chemistry, and also there is no separation between the science and arts. All the curriculum should be integrated. So that's why there is a choice-based credit system, and the curriculum integration should be there from the same concept. The learners at the school level, they can also learn. That is also from the mathematics, from the same concept, they can also learn from the history and geography also, the language concept they can also understand. Such facilities should be created. Such type of things can also be incorporated in the textbook. So that's why the facilities has also been there in this curriculum, in this new education policy 2020. So that's why I can say there is a paradigm shift also in the school education. Next thing you can find, that is a national curriculum framework for school education. You can find very valid document. Those who have also learned NCF 2005, Krishna Kumar has also written with his team members, with his associates, 2005, very valid document. Till now, such type of the document I can say NCERT has published, NCERT has developed that one. So the national curriculum framework. But now, the new system of education, when will come into the force, there is will also be national curriculum framework, and school education can be developed by 2021. So on the basis of that, national curriculum framework, NCFC, on the basis of that, the new curriculum to be designed. So that's why you can also give your suggestions. Those who are also as a part of our country, India, they can also give their suggestions. Next thing is also national textbook with local context. Already I have discussed it. National level, the standard should be maintained. That is also the curriculum should be developed at also the national level. But the in the textbook, the local examples should be there. The foreign examples should not be there, because the minds, because it emphasizes upon the experience-based learning. So that's why the experience-based learning should be promoted. That's why on the local context, local flavor should be there in the content. Then you can find the transfer assessment for student level. So many assessment bodies will be, the board of assessment will be there. You can find just like in assessment process, in the examination system are also there, but in school education the examination will be eradicated, that will be assessment. But now we are also in the process of assessment, in the process of a CCA, continuous comprehensive assessment also there, but now it is not in the form of assessment, though by the name of assessment is also there, but actually the structure of questions, the structure of questioning skill is also of the teachers are not also the assessment level. So how that can also be developed, just like you can find NATA, National Testing Agency, is also conducting at the medical engineering level. So JEE Main or also the NEET exam. Similarly, at the NATA level, such type of the board of assessment can also be organized at the state level and also the national level. So they can also conduct the examination. They can also map the level of students and also they can assess the level of schools. They can also grade the schools accordingly. And there must be the promote of the gifted learners. You can find in the present scenario, the students are also the same curriculum are also teaching. The high achiever, whatever they are also learning, the low achiever are also learning the same curriculum. There is no facilities for also the gifted learners. So here this policy has emphasizes in the paradigm shift. I can say here there is a paradigm shift for the high achiever learners. There is also the scope for also the science circles, mathematics circles, music, dance circle, and also the promoting performance circle, chess circle, poetry circle, music circle, eco club circle, health and well-being clubs, yoga club. Like this, all these should be promoted. These facilities should be given to the gifted learners. But the situation is that how it can also. Okay. So that's why you must have to also we have to develop these things among the learners. And next thing, you can find the curriculum reduction. I have already told you the curriculum reduction should be there among the learners. Already I have discussed about it. Then focus upon also the learning outcome and the competency subject integration. All the subjects should be integrated and focus on the learning outcome. The next thing, also physical education and innovative pedagogical education should be transferred in the learning. Textbook in the local context and flavor should be there. Then you can find futures and leadership quality should be promoted among the learners, and grade appropriate learning should be there. And Parak, you can find the Parak. On the basis of the Parak, you can find the assessment board can also conduct. That is also the learning outcome based learning should be designed and they will be assessed. Next, holistic progress card. Already I have told you that is 360 angle of a progress card should be developed among the learners. Multilingualism should be promoted at the initial up to the grade of 5 and all the grade 8. The language can also be promoted among the learners. 3 language formula and gifted learners. These are also be facilitated. Integrated vocational education at all level. You can find vocational education is very important for the learners. So this is also the major focus upon it. How the vocational for the self-reliance of the learners, that is also important. The core curriculum should be introduced in this vocational education as per the emphasis, as per the interest, as per the ability of the learners. The student can also select their own subject in vocational education. In Parak, already I have told you that in Parak, the assessment that is also National Achievement Survey and State Achievement Survey. So that on the basis of that can also in the 21st century skills of the learners can also be assessed through the Parak. Then another thing also you can find the teachers. It is very important for the teachers takeoff. Now you can find the teachers can also be recruited as the integrated B.Ed program. So those who have also completed that is +2 level, that is 11th and 12th class also pass out, they can also facilitate for the integrated 4-year integrated B.Ed program. And those who have also completed the bachelor degree, they can also be promoted for also the 2 years B.Ed. And those who have also the multidisciplinary, in the multidisciplinary education, I can also say here that multidisciplinary, all the education. Suppose you can find a student also admitted in also the +3 science, and at the same time the B.Ed program or the technical education has been selected. But after the completion of this, he was also waiting for the next. But that cannot also be there. Choice-based credit system is also there. Professor Dayanand also told this thing in his speech, that also there is also the credit bank is also there. So in the deposit of their bank of also there, you can find they can also just suppose one course they have admitted, at the same time they can also drop this one, they can also postpone that course, and also they can go for the another program also in the another program. After completion of that program, then again he can come back to this program. So that's why there is a facilities for the learners. So that's why their time and also their qualification cannot also be discarded. So that's why it is also given. Those who have also completed the multidisciplinary system of a bachelor degree or MA degree, master degree, they can also promote for 1 year B.Ed degree. So that's why they can will be appointed as the teacher, and the teacher's improvement can also continuous CPD, that is also continuous professional development. Through that also that can also be promoted. The teacher can also be recruited through, that is also NATA, National Testing Agency. Similarly, the teacher's eligibility test will be conducted in the state and also the central level, that is for the Kendriya Vidyalaya, and also for you can find that now it is also it is going on, but it is also binding. So that every state can also conduct through the national teachers eligibility test in the light of a NATA, National Testing Agency. At the central level, the National Testing Agency can also conduct this examination and for the teachers recruitment policy. So that's why the teacher can also be recruited. And on this aspect, the NCT, National Council of Teacher Education, can also facilitate these things, and also the NCRT can also collaboratively work upon it for teachers eligibility test. Empowering the teachers, I have also told you that national professional standard for teachers can be developed by 2020, and also career growth can also be developed, and autonomy should be given. Teachers autonomy should be given by his own light. The teacher can also promote the teaching learning process in the classroom teaching. Then teachers recruitment, already I have told you. Next thing, equitable and inclusive education. In inclusive education, that is also the right of persons with disability act 2016. This also emphasizes upon it that how does it can also include, that is also enabling the mechanisms of the CWS, child with special needs in the education, and regular schooling can also be maintained in the school education, and assistive devices, and also the ICT based. Till now they have not given any ICT based education. Suppose visual impaired or also hearing impaired or the intellectual disabilities are also there, disabilities are also there, or autism spectrums are also there. Their ICT devices are not given till now. So how the students can also be promoted in the ICT based assistive devices, that can also be promoted in this through this policy. Name another module NIS, through NIS, National Institute of Open Schooling module will be developed how the sign language can promote in the school education for the sake of the hearing impaired students. So, and the next thing, alternative schooling, those who are also the mild, moderate, severe and profound level learners are severe and profound level, they are not also admitting to the schools. For the special schools can also be promoted, alternative school can also be promoted in the school system. And certificate RCI course, Rehabilitation Council of India, such courses can also be promoted. Till now you can find most of the teachers are say that we are not also equipped in the inclusive education, how can we also promote the education for them? So that's why the certificate course free course can also be promoted through RCI courses can be given to them for the development of their capacity, teaching capacity for the inclusive education. Next, you can find the SED, the special education zone can also be created among the learners. Then interventions can be provided, learning outcomes can be focused. Then also the counselor in the school education, you can find the counselor can also be recruited. They can also counsel to the learners and also the parents. Special mechanisms should be developed. And I have told you that it is very remarkable things, the school complex. In the school complex, you can find In the school education, the planning should be there. In the panchayat level or also the local area or in the township, in the urban areas, you can find the higher education. Those who are also the higher education system are also there. Higher secondary schools are there under that control. Some of the primary schools, upper primary schools, they can also be controlled that. They can also plan that. Also, the head of the institution will be the coordinator of all this, and they can also develop the school development plan, and accordingly they can also develop these things. Then efficiency should be developed among the learner teachers, and Sikkha Chetna, Samajik Chetna Kendra can also be developed in the local areas. That is also the Samajik Chetna Kendra can promote the intellectual and voluntary activities of the community. So that's why through this school complex it is also given. And Bal Bhavan can also be given, that also the Bal Bhavan children also go for the age of pattern in art related and career related courses can also be facilitated for the learners, and integration of all the subjects can also be promoted. Then standard setting of accreditation you can find, that is also the setting of the state school standard authority will be developed, that can also develop among the learner, that can also assess the schools and standard of the learners, and certain minimal professional and quality standard can also be maintained. A CRT of the state, and also the another thing also school quality assessment and accreditation framework will be designed, so that can assess the priority of also the schools, and all these things they can also be all these things can also be developed. They can also assess the achievement level of the learners and also the schools. The parameter can also be developed accordingly. The next thing is also you can find that is assessment and accredited minimum level of the criteria, that is also the private and also the philanthropic schools, all these should be the same level, so come to the fold of education. Then gender inclusion. In gender inclusion you can find also the safety rights also there. Next thing also you can find KGBP has also been promoted up to the grade of 12. Till now it is also 10th level, but in this policy KGBP, Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya, also should be also the 12th level. And next thing is gender sensitivity can also be promoted in the curriculum. You can find gender sensitivity is not there. You can find in the society there is also very sensitive issues are also there occurring in the society. Such issues cannot also be promoted for the sake of that. Gender sensitive issues can be incorporated in also the curriculum. Next thing you can find the gender gap can also be minimized. The gap can be minimized, and the policy targeted for the girls education, and gender inclusion fund should be there for utilization for promoting the gender inclusion in the school curriculum. And next thing, integration of vocational education. Very important thing you can find in vocational education. The life skill important is also there. That is also the vocational education, that is practice based curriculum should be there. Open distance learning should be there. Those who are not also in the sake of learning, that can also be promoted. And adult learning program, that is foundational literacy, critical life skill, vocational skill, all these should be promoted in the school education. Okay. Next we will come to the higher education. In the higher education segment you can find that is gross enrollment ratio to the 50% by 2035, which is also 26.3 in 2018 you can find, but that can also be expected in 2035. That is also 50% of gross enrollment should be there. And regulation, already NAMRATA has also, Dr. NAMRATA has also spelled out all these things. The 4 things also, there should be a higher education commission should be set up, which under the umbrella of that also the Higher Education Commission of India, that can also all the higher education institution will be control of that. And also under that HECI also can control the higher education regulatory council for the regulation, and general education council for the standard setting, and higher education grants commission council for the funding, and also national accreditation council that can also be created as far as also the equitable at also the resemblance of also the NAC level, that is national accreditation council should be framed. On the basis of that also the higher education will be regulated. Then holistic multidisciplinary education, very important thing. This this policy has also emphasizes upon the flexible curriculum, creative combination of the subject, integration of vocational education, multi-entry and also exit point. It is very important. Multi-entry and multi-exit, already I have told you that also in the multi, that means in the one-way track was also there for the learners in the existing system. But now this policy has also bring its remarkable changes, which I can think most of the young learners can accept this policy. They can also positively accept these things because multi-entry and multi-exit system are also there. By the way, the student can also academic bank of credit can also be created. He can deposit his qualification, he can deposit his academic qualifications, so that it can also give, it can also foster himself, it can create the facilities in the society for also the for his engagement, for his self-reliance, for his employment in the society. So all these things are also there. And apart from that, in higher education, in the holistic multidisciplinary education system, you can find there is also the multidisciplinary education and research university, very important things. Research university, BC Professor Jayananda also speak out this thing, that is also research university. There is no India in India, Nalanda, just like also Nalanda, you can also find such type of that label in India. The multidisciplinary, that is also the research university can also promote. By the way, IIT and IIM and multidisciplinary education can also be promoted for them. By that also they can also, the research qualifications can also be utilized in future progress of our country and also for the development of our country. So that's why the research university should be there. The next thing, rationalize institutional architecture. You can find it is very important also. That is also higher education institution will be transferred into the larger, well-resourced and vibrant multidisciplinary institutions. By the way, the colleges can also given the autonomy. They are not there directly, they cannot also given the promote. They can also conduct their own assessment. They can also conduct their own assessment. They can also declare their own result. The certificate can also, the students should not wait for the getting the certificate from the university. They can also, the college directly can issue the certificate. So such type of the provisions are also there in this policy. So that's why I can think definitely it can bring changes in the hallmark of also higher education. And also you can find autonomous degree granting colleges can also, autonomous should given to all the colleges. You can find those who are also at the high level, only these colleges are also given the autonomy. But I can say here that this policy has facilitated all the colleges, those who are also accredited by the accredited by the assessment body, then we can say that autonomous degree can also given to that colleges. Then next thing, motivated, energized and also capable faculty. The faculty capacities can also be developed. The faculties can also be motivated and they will be energized, and also their capacity can also the refresher course can also be promoted. But now you can find by hook or crook, on force, the teachers are also just conducting the refresher course for their promotion basis. But now you can find the faculties members, they can also be promoted on the basis of their performance, but not on the seniority basis. They can also get the promotion on the basis of their performance, those who are also performing. So that's why these facilities are also given for the lecturers, for the college teachers, that also they can also facilitate. They can clearly, it is defined and independent and transparent recruitment. All these things are also highlighted in this. And the teacher education, you can find very important thing, the teacher education institutions, they will come to the fold of higher education. Suppose B.Ed college or M.Ed college, and also in the diet, BIET, all these things are also there in across India. By 2020, they will also with the control of NCERT, and they will come to the fold of also the national curriculum framework and teacher education. By 2000, it will be developed on the basis, on the light of that also, the teacher that will be developed by the NCERT. Accordingly, the curriculum will be designed and the teacher education will come to the fold of higher education. And only the special B.Ed program cannot be taught to the learners. the disciplinary, multidisciplinary system can also be, just like you can find in RIS, in NCRT under the RIS, Regional Institute of Education. So all these are also, just like also the integrated course are also there. Similarly, the multidisciplinary courses can introduce in the teacher education. And mentoring mission should be there. The mentoring mission, it is another focus area of this policy, which also established at a large pool of outstanding senior and retired faculty can also given the promote of the young learners, and including those with the ability of the teaching in the Indian language, and also the foreign language can also be promoted for them. And financial support for the student can also be given those who are also the AC, ST and OBC, and this scholarship portal will be also given to them. Higher education institution will also be encouraged to offer the large number of pre-SIP and scholarship to the students. The restricted students are also getting the scholarship, but it is also the, at a large scale, the financial support can also be given to the students. So that's why definitely it can also facilitate, it can foster towards the create the interest, to inculcate the interest among the young learners. So that's why it is there. And another thing is also in the higher education, you can find open and distance learning program. In the open and distance learning, courses can also be entered in the MOOC. MOOC courses can also be provided to them. So by the way, that can also be there in the credit bank account system. They can also, these courses can also be taken into consideration, and their qualification will be given. But these qualifications should be given in the high quality education. So that's why these promote of these education can also be given for the learners. And online education and digital education. Online in the pandemic situation, I think most of the teachers from the grassroots level, the school teachers to the university lecturers, all are also the well equipped, well versed now in the pandemic situation. All are also in the process of in the online education. So the digital education, how can be promoted at the doorstep? There the learner can also facilitate. That is also the online courses. Such type of the education can be promoted to the young learners. And the technology in education, that is also the autonomous body, and the National Education Technology Forum can also be created. By that way, that platform, the pre-exchange of ideas and usage of technology can also be enhanced. Such type of the learning, assessment, planning, administration, all these things can also be integrated in the technology in educational parameters. And promote of the Indian language. How much in the HEI, that is higher education institutions, the Sanskrit, also the Prakriti or the Persian or the Pali, these Indian, the indigenous languages are also there. These indigenous languages can also be fostered. But now you can find that most of the students are also not also speak in their own language. They are also try to speak in English because they are also facilitating. But all these languages should be promoted through the higher education system. And professional courses should be introduced in higher education system. Adult education can also be given 100% to also the youth and adult through the adult literacy program. And financing the education, you can find in this program highlighted the 6% of GDP to the expenditure of 2017-18 in the financial year towards the 10 after 10 years of this the financing education can also be given. The 6% GDP can be expenditure, the expend, or this money can also be spent for the sake of the promote of the high quality education in the Indian system. And next thing also, very soon I will conclude my session, very few minutes. So timeline for implementation of also the ECC and the assessment platform, you can find 2011 and 20. You can find the first phase of ECC, early childhood education, can also be integrated. And also next thing in phase 2, you can find 2023 to 24, this education can also be completed. This target is also given by this policy. And also the state government and also the union government, both union and state government must be binding how to implement this policy. And time frame for implementation of National Education Policy 2020, you can find the National Curriculum Framework and School Education can be promoted 2020 and 2022. And also you can find 20,000 NPST, that is National Professional Standard for Teachers, can also be promoted. It will be achieved at the completion stage can also be studied. That is also 2020 to 23, and also 2025 to 26. You can find the grade level alternative universal foundational literacy and numeracy, which is also the new hallmark in the field of education, that can also be completed. And B.Ed courses, the integrated B.Ed, not also in the restricted colleges, can also be that is also integrated B.Ed cannot also promote in all over India. The integrated B.Ed can also be in the full-fledged manner at the year that is also in the financial year, that is 2020 to 30. So all these also, this policy has also taken into the new hallmark. And also whatever the new hallmark you can find, that is also the preparation of the school at elementary level. You can find by 2030, this target is given to the Union Government and Ministry of Education, that ECC should be integrated into the National Curriculum Framework for ECC, and that can also be integrated in the school education, and achievement of 100% gross enrollment ratio in the school education by 2030. Balvatika can also 5 to 6 years old children can also be integrated to the fold of also the Anganwadi or the preschool education, and national foundational literacy should be set off. And then school infrastructure should be there. Special education zone should be created. So that also a special education zone should be created, and utilizing unused capacity of the school at Samajik Chetna Kendra. Very important thing also they have highlighted, Samajik Chetna Kendra, which is the society is also giving the less importance, or the school education are giving the less importance of the community resources. The community resources, how can it be also utilized in the school education through the Samajik Chetna Kendra? That also can be promoted through the school infrastructure and also the resources. School complex can also be introduced, which is also in the Kothari Commission has also highlighted the school complex. The same thing also can also be there, and the cluster for resource structuring, it is also there. Holistic development of the student, already I have told you, the 360-degree angle development of the all-round development, the harmonic development, the holistic development of the student can also develop through innovative pedagogy introduced by the teacher. Through that is also the discovery, the explanation, discovery, participatory approach, collaborative approach. The student, the teacher can also introduce such type of the methodology. Then inclusivity also there, that is KGBP should be promoted up to the level of class 12, and gifted learners, special provisions should be there. Already I have discussed to you. Adult education program should be introduced, and also the vocational education can promote through the NIOS, and also assessment through the PARAC can also be done, and curriculum and pedagogical framework should be there. Integration of the ICT, new curriculum and pedagogical framework through that is also 5+3+3+4 pattern should be introduced in India. And the teacher recruitment policy, already I have told you that also how the B.Ed program can be introduced, and no DLED program should be there, but B.Ed or at the level of only the B.Ed, definitely the integrated B.Ed, 4-year integrated, 2 years B.Ed and 1-year B.Ed as per their qualification, whatever I have also discussed, all these things should be promoted, and their capacity building through the continuous professional development, this capacity can also be developed. Then the government, role of the government and also the different bodies and institution has been framed, that is Directorate of Education to look after the that is also in the state department, the CRT will act as the major role, because in some of the state you can find there also the academic authority in some of the states, just like in Odisha you can find that is SCRT is the academic authority. They are also looking after the data of the academic scenario in Odisha. Similarly, the state school standard authority will be framed, so that can also, the minimum standard can also be self, so they can also assess the minimum standard of the schools. And similarly, you can find the Central Advisory Board of Education can be created, which will be also in the collaboration of the MHRD, but which is now, it is also known as the Ministry of Education, with the collaboration of CAB, that is Central Advisory Board of Education. All these can also be integrated. They can also pre-plan and also see the vision how to bring the high quality education in the fold of school education and also the secondary education. And the Ministry of Education will be redesigned as also the Ministry of Education. So thank you for my presentation. Thank you for your patience listening to me for a long time. and also giving to me the opportunities, the University of Noida International University, Vice Chancellors, and also Dr. Namrata, Dr. Thomas. So thank you. Now I can invite any questions from your side, any open house discussions, if is there any provision. So definitely that can also be, I can also, I think I can also be reached at their level. Thank you, Dr. Namrata. Yes, you can also promote.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for this in-depth information about the national education policy at the school level as well as at the higher education level. The session is open for questions. Will take around 2 minutes because the session will over at 1, and we have to also.
Okay, thank you.
So that is one issue. So the session is open. Anybody who wants to ask questions from Dr. Parida, you're welcome.
Okay.
I guess you've given the information in such an elaborate and simple fashion that it has become very easy for all of us to comprehend it. This 65, 82-page document has become a little more easier to understand with your in-depth analysis on the whole topic. Thank you so much, Dr. Parida, for joining us on this webinar. Now, I would like to request Dr. LOMAS Tomar, our Director, School of Sciences, to give the vote of thanks.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Namrata. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Jayanand, our esteemed speaker, Dr. Parida, all have the head of the departments, faculty members, and dear students. It's a great honor to propose the vote of thanks to all who have helped us in making this webinar, a knowledgeable session and a success. To start with, my hearty thanks to Professor Jayanand for his gracious presence, for taking out time from his busy schedule as university is preparing for its orientation day and the beginning of new session. He is really busy. I would like to thank our distinguished speaker, Dr. Parida, for enlightening us on different aspects of NEP 2020 and translating this new chapter to an easy and concise form that is readily understandable for both the students and the faculty members. Dr. Parida, thanks for accepting our invite and making this webinar an interesting and meaningful session with your excellent presentation.
Thank you. You have given the scope to speak the few lines. So thank you, this university. Thank you to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Jayananda. Thank you also to Dr. Lomas. Thank you, Dr. Namrata. See, time to time, Dr. Namrata is also contacting to me, sir, whether you will available, sir, whether you will also consent, give your consent. All these things is also time to time is contacting to me. Thank you to Dr. Namrata. Okay, thank you.
I would also like to thank Dr. Namrata, moderator of this webinar, all head of the departments and faculty members of School of Sciences for their active participation in the planning and execution of this webinar. Finally, the wonderful students who have turned up in not only from our school but also from other schools of the university. Hope you all have benefited to a certain degree. Last but not the least, our IT department for providing a smooth network facility because they are the backbone of any education system nowadays. Once again, I thank all for your cordial cooperation. Thank you so much and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you,
thank you so much, everyone. With this, I would like to conclude the webinar. Thank you all for participation and hope you have a nice day. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Dr. Parida, again.
Thank you also again. Thank you to Dr. Namrata. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Parida. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Namrata.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you all of you.
Thank you.